Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to your Phonetics and Phonology course. My name is Ammar Sultan Al-Maani. I am the instructor, your teacher in this course. And hopefully that you have heard or an idea or you have an idea about the phonetics and phonology. Today is our orientation course. In this orientation, we are going to cover course overview, what is phonetics and phonology, content of the course syllabus, objectives of the course, your main textbook and some recommended references, and how to contact me. First of all, this course will deal with this astonishing variety of sounds used in the world's languages. We will begin with the mechanisms used to produce sounds, the vocal tract, الجهاز الهضمي. We will then explore the sounds, أو الصوت عفوا. We will then explore the sounds with which we are most familiar, the sounds of English. Okay, احنا ما نتعامل with letters, we deal with sounds, أصوات. We will then actually learn not only how the consonants and vowels are produced, but what their acoustic forms are like. In close inspection, in close reading, some of the sounds of English may not be as familiar as we thought. Certain properties will be found to recur in sounds, and as we extend our view to the realm of all possible sounds in language, we will use these properties as guides in organizing and understanding sound. So our course basically is about how to understand English sounds. Okay, we're going to deal with the consonants and with the vowels. Okay, so if I ask you how many vowels we have, you may say we have only 5 or 6 vowels. The I, O, U, and E, and O, so it's only 5, right? But however, we have more than 40 vowels in English. 40 vowels, imagine. And the consonants, we have also a number just like that. Beyond the sequences of sounds with which we are familiar, we will also turn our attention to properties such as intonation, التنغيم, and rhythm in speech. These two are elements which vary in systematic ways across the world's languages. However, we're going to focus only in English language as we turn to questions of how sounds are combined, organized in syllables and words. We will begin to uncover the rule-like nature of sound system, and we will attempt to identify patterns both across and within the languages. First of all, let us consider, before we move to the syllabus, and let me just give you an idea about these piece of information. Let us consider these piece of information first. What is phone? Phone is a speech sound in a language. أي صوت مسموع في اللغة. Speech, the ability to talk, the activity of talking, or a piece of spoken language. Okay? Language is a system of communication consisting of sounds, يحتوي اللغة على sounds, words, and a grammar, or the system of communication used by the people of a particular country. Linguistics, I know some of you are familiar with this term. Linguistics is the systematic study of the structure and development of a language in general, or of particular languages. Okay, so in linguistics, as you have maybe learned, you have two, first of all, the syntax and النحو, that study the structure of sentences. هذا النحو. Morphology, هذه أجزاء السنتاكس. إذا أي واحد, if you want to study language, you are a specialist, right? So you need to learn syntax, morphology, to study the structure of words. Semantics, here we study the meaning of words, the meaning of sentences. الدلالة, علم الدلالة. Lexicology, lexicology, that is to study how to use words. Okay, it's like lexicon, dictionary, right? Pragmatics, اللغة التطبيقية أو علم اللغة التطبيقي, the study of language, meaning and context. So all of these 5 points or 5 fields are the contents of are the fields that you're going to cover when you study linguistics. However, we still have one, what is phonetics and phonology. Phonetics and phonology, it is to study the speech, sounds or phones. You know what is phones? It's any sound in this language. So phonetics and phonology is concerned with speech, sounds or phones. So every language has a small number of sounds, vowels and consonants. Any language. We call these sounds لاحظوا phonemes. What do we call them? Phonemes. So from now on, phonemes means vowels and consonants. Sounds of vowels and consonants. So the vowels in the word pen and pen are different phonemes. The consonants at the beginning of the words pit, هذا هو, and bit are also different phonemes. So the P right here, the E and the I, pin and pen, pit and bet. So we have here, we have different phonemes, and the P and the B, also we have different phonemes. Different sounds, right? It sounds different. Okay? English spelling has a notoriously confusing nature. For this reason, it is important to think of English pronunciation in terms of phonemes and not in terms of letters of the alphabet. خلاص هذا زمان. We think of English as letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. Now we are going to think of English as phonemes, sounds, okay? The word enough begins with some phoneme as that at the beginning of inept, and ends with the same consonant as the stuff. لاحظوا enough, inna, the same thing, inna, enough, inept. So they have the same phoneme, same sounds. And here, it's the first 3 letters and the first 3 letters right here. Sorry, sounds. And if you look at of, it's just like stuff. So they have similar phonemes, although they have different letters. So phonetics, phonology, what is the difference? Well, phonology, it deals with how speech sounds are organized into patterns or systems for each individual language. While phonetics, it deals with how sounds are made, how the human beings make these sounds, okay? Or how speech sounds are perceived, how we receive it. And it also deals with speech sounds and the physics involved. So we have 3 branches in phonetics that deals with every one right here. So how speech sounds are made is called articulatory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics, and we will discuss it. Okay? How the speech sounds are perceived is called phonetics auditory. And the speech sounds and the physics of the involved, it's called phonetics acoustics. We'll basically look at the articulatory phonetics, okay, how these sounds are made, and we will try to imitate them. Just do the same one, like we should do the same way, okay? It's going to be a practical course. But why it's important to learn about the phonetics and phonology? First of all, because you are going to work with the English language at an advanced level as teachers, translators, interpreters, or researchers, and you will need the deeper understanding provided by the study of phonetic and phonological theory to understand the principles regulating this use of sounds in spoken English. Okay, content of our course. Generally, in this course, we will actually cover some things like the sounds of English, the manners and place of articulation. Articulation means النطق. Okay, to articulate, الverb منها articulate. Articulate معناها ينطق. Articulator. Articulator معناها الناطق. So in our bodies we have active and passive articulator. We will explain that next class inshallah. And then we will actually learn we will actually have a chapter related to the vowels and consonants, segmentation and transcription. All of these words are very new, right? You're unfamiliar with these actually words, but don't worry. By the time we will explain each and every one. Supersegmental features like pitch, ارتفاع صوت, stretch, and intonation as single sound and sentence levels. هذه مهمة جدا هناخدها في نهاية الفصل. Also we will actually talk about something called the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, and receive the pronunciation. And also we'll talk about English phonemes, allophones, and consonant clustering. We will talk about the formations of some phonological rules. These are in general, okay? For the syllabus, and this is more specific, at the beginning we will actually have a class, the first class, about the places of articulation and manners of articulation. Okay? مناطق النطق في داخل الفم والحال, the status of the mouth or of the glottis. We will explain this more. We have definition of phonemes, English phonemes. Then we have a chapter or class, specific class or two classes to discuss together the English vowels, short and long, diphthong and triphthong. Okay, I know that you are unfamiliar with this, but don't worry about that. We'll explain it later on. We have also something, the transcription, and here we have a lot of fun. Also we'll have something about a chapter or a class about syllable, strong and weak. Also the stress word, stress and symbol words and complex words, stress and on a sentence level. Also we have at the end of this semester some classes about rhythm, assimilation, linking. These are all aspects of connected speech, okay, together. So finally, the intonation. So I know you are unfamiliar to these words, or these words are unfamiliar to you. So don't worry about that. We will explain it day by day. Okay? Every class we go in, we actually explain it in some way to understand it fully. The objective of completing the course, you are expected to identify speech organs, أعضاء النطق في الجسم الإنسان, their locations and their function. لاحظوا الأهمية وهذا الجانب العملي الآن أنا بحكي. And then to distinguish and produce all English sounds and their features. من نميز ما بين الأحرف في اللغة الإنجليزية صفاتهم. Then transcribe English sounds using phonetic symbols for discriminate, contrast, and produce sounds and clusters that cause problems for Arabic speakers in isolation and in context. And so we will talk about your problems, that sometimes you may face some problems. Why I don't speak like Americans or British people. We will actually talk about that during or through the semester. Finally, I want you to recognize by the end of this semester and identify and produce suprasegmental features of English speech, such as stress, rhythm, intonation, weak and strong forms. So all of these actually are theoretically will be explained, okay? Explained, but we need to practice. So all these are theoretically explained, but practically I want you to come to our class, and then we do it together on the blackboard and here or in our live sessions or meetings, okay? So I'm pretty sure that my accent is pretty fast, but that will be fine. Just get familiar to that. I'm trying to just to speak as slow and fast at the same time, okay? So here's some main textbook. Actually, you need to buy English Phonetics and Phonology. It's called a Peter, actually, yeah, it's a practical course by Peter Roach, 2nd edition. Also, you're recommended, there's a recommended reference right here, H for Peter Course in Phonetics. This is the name of the course. This is the 1st edition. And here's some recommended pronunciation dictionaries. You need to buy the dictionary, by the way, because most of our class, actually, the dictionary will be helpful for you in our class, okay? I will let you know why later on. By the way, these slides also, or our classes, are fair enough to understand, you know, and to answer in your final, or to get a high score in your final test. For your final test, actually, we are having 70 grades, as you know. This is a very regular system. We have a final test. We have 70 grade. Okay, الامتحان 70 grade, 70%. 70% for your final. And we have 30% for participation. Okay, 70% for the final and 30% for participation. 10 of these participation is for the assignments. You have 3 assignments. 3 assignments. And I will assign these assignments by the time. Okay, I will declare the dates, the exact dates for these assignments by the time. You have 3 assignments, 10 grades, 10 points. The first actually assignment 3, the second 3, and the final is 4. Okay, and we left with the 20, 10 for your participation on the blackboard, and the other 10 and forums, and the other 10 for your attendance, to attend the classes and watch the videos. And okay, so I hope that I've covered the main points that you may have some questions to. So please, if you have any question, just try to catch me up on this email. I will provide you later on with my office hours, and actually with my cell phone number and the time of meetings or live meetings. Actually, we're going to meet very soon, I guess. Again, thank you so much for listening, and let us meet next time on our first class, Phonetics and Phonology. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.